Who here has been told that they need to start saving money and open a savings account by some adult or family member or teacher in their life? Well, today I'm going to tell you why you should actually do the opposite of that. Why you shouldn't save money but instead spend it. You shouldn't save your money but spend it because you will start to miss out on experiences in your life. You could cause your mental health to suffer, and you can just learn to balance your money evenly. My first point will be that you miss out on opportunities and experiences in life. Catherine Versio, a writer for the website Blonde and Balanced, said that you start to miss out on experiences in life such as vacations and trips, going out with your friends, going out on dates, any group outings that include spending money because you want to save that money and put it in a savings account instead of spend it. But instead, you could actually just budget and just plan, like, this is how much I'm going to spend on going out with my friends this month, and I won't go over that. It's easy to be frugal and not cheap. Like, you can watch your spending. It's perfectly normal, but you don't need to be a penny pincher. Like, you don't need to be, looking at two options to buy at a store. Say you found a microwave for $500, but then you found, basically the exact same microwave for, $200, but it's not as pretty looking or something. And you're like, oh, well, I can save $200 right there. But then that's the $500 one is the one you really want. You can still buy that $500 one, and you just have to budget it. You can't, you don't have to be a penny pincher and buy the cheap thing that you don't want just because the other thing you want is more expensive. Plus, tomorrow's not promised. Go out and spend your money and be happy. You could die tomorrow and have $10,000 saved up in your savings account, and where's that money going to go? Nowhere. It's just going to sit in that savings account for the rest of time. My second point is your mental health may start to suffer. You can start constantly stressing over if you're putting enough money into your savings account or if you're spending too much. It's okay to spend money. You're allowed to spend money. You don't have to stress about it. Then from that stress, you start to socially isolate yourself. Because when your friends are like, oh, let's go to the movies, you're like, well, that's $30 I don't need, that I'm not going to spend. I could save that money instead. But then you're missing out on all these opportunities to hang out with your friends. And so then those relationships start to suffer. So not only are you suffering by stressing, you're suffering by losing friendships and isolating yourself from the world. My third point is that it's easy to balance your money. You can balance your spending. It's easy to, make a budget and say, this is how much I have for gas this month. This is how much I have for food this much. This is how much I'm going out, my going out money I have to spend. And you can just look at yourself and be like, I'm not going to go over this amount. I'm, going to keep in my budget. So then when you start spending or saving crazy, you stop going to the store and buying necessary nutrients like fresh produce compared to buying canned produce. You can start making your body suffer and become unhealthy because you're buying cheaper things such as canned food than fresh food. And then once you start doing that, your body starts to suffer, and then you have to go to the doctor, and you're like, oh, well, actually, I'm not going to go to the doctor because then I have to spend money to drive with gas to get to the doctor, and then also spend money for the doctor's appointment because I have to spend money to pay for my insurance that pays for the doctor appointment. So you end up just this chain of events. It's like, oh, well, I have to spend money here to get to here to get to here, and then you just start stressing and you start getting sick, and you just end up actually just making your life horrible compared to you could be spending money and budgeting and having a great life. You could be happy and have friends and go out and do stuff and still have a budget and not spend all the money that you have compared to constantly stressing and saving your money and then it potentially not even getting used. So in conclusion, They say money can't buy happiness, but has anyone ever actually bought $1,000 Versace bag and not been happy? It's not saving money helps you experience a good life, have good mental health, and balance your spending evenly. I personally spend my money all the time, so that's why I believe and think everyone should stop saving money and having savings accounts and just start budgeting.